Well, good morning. Welcome to day 11 of my trip. I believe it's Friday. I believe it's August 26th. I don't know why I believe those things, but I do. Slept pretty well last night. We did get a little bit of rain. Not much overnight. Temperature really dropped. I started out barely in my sleeping bag and ended up almost completely zippered up inside it. Didn't need my fleece bag though. And of course by the morning Sam was in the sleeping bag with me. I don't know how we fit both of us into a mummy bag, but we do it. You can see he's not quite ready to get up yet. Nice mist on the water this morning. Woke up about 5:20 this morning, a little bit later than usual, despite having slept well last night. It's now 10 after 6. I don't know where that 40 minutes went. Supposed to be a real nice day today. High of about 70, which means it'll be in the 60s most of the day. 5-mile-an-hour wind. Sunny. Good day for making some miles. To get to Jasper, I have a 25-yard rod portage to get into Eddy Lake, but I know it's uphill and pretty steep. There's a waterfall along there. Might triple portage that one. I'll have to see what it looks like when I get there. And I have a 15 and a Jenny. I think that one's a little bit steep too, but I'm not sure. I think before I was getting that mixed up with Spoon Lake portage, but we'll find out when we get there. Out of Jenny, I have the portage into and out of the 15 rodder into Annie, another 15 rodder out of Annie. Neither one of those were very hard. Then the long paddle across Ogish. Then the 38 rod into Kingfisher. And I think it's a 45, something like that, into Jasper. And of those two, the 38 is actually a little bit tougher than the 45. Hopefully it's not as crowded on Jasper today as it was when I started my trip. It shouldn't be. Things have really quieted down since I came in. Even yesterday, even though there were those two parties at the portage landing when I got here, one going northbound, the other one going southbound, those are the last people I saw all day, and I definitely would have seen anybody else coming through. Of course, yesterday wasn't very conducive to traveling after that anyway, with the winds and everything. It's not quite as chilly out here this morning as I thought it would be. I don't really need this hat. But it's nice for effect. Been waiting 11 days for a morning with mist like this. Been a couple of mornings where there's been a little bit of mist, but nothing like this. Still like this when I finish my oatmeal. I just might put everything in the beer barrel and go out and grab some pictures of me out there in the mist. This is just so perfect. Okay, leaving the campsite on Knife Lake, south arm of Knife Lake. It's 9 o'clock, considering I got up a little bit later than usual, and then spent a lot of time getting pictures and video, even coming out and paddling in the mist this morning. I couldn't pass that up. Most beautiful morning of the trip. Feel pretty good to be setting out at 9. Beautiful morning, that's for sure. Time to put some miles on and some rods. Paddling into this little cove because this hillside up here fascinates me. We haven't come to that conclusion yet. I really like the cliffs in this area. Love the different colors. This was a beauty. Not as big as and as impressive as some of the others I've seen. All that orange. Yeah, something I got fogged up. But, coming up to the 25 rod portage up to Eddy Lake. Gotta find a good landing spot if one exists. Possibly right up in here. A little bit of a slip. do. Don't slip, don't slip. Sam's already out of the boat. Yeah. Okay, we are now on Eddy Lake. I really meant to hold that crossing, but I forgot to turn the camera on again, and I'm very sorry, but once I have the canoe on my shoulders on top of the pack, there's no way I'm going to take it down off my shoulders just so I can turn the video camera on. So sorry folks, but that's just the way it is. So anyway, we have a little paddle across Eddy Lake. So I've got one footage out of the way. Arguably the toughest one of the day because it's so much uphill. It's only 25 rods, but 25 rods is quite an incline. And when we get to the footage into Jenny Lake, and hopefully I'll find my way across Jenny Lake better this time from this direction than I did the other day from the other direction. It is just gone 10:30, so we've been underway for an hour and a half now. These are the days you dream about when you're getting ready to do a trip. You think every day is going to be like this. Comfortable, sunny, a few fluffy clouds in the sky. It's a shame that I'm heading towards home. I mean, I'm not going to make it out of here today by any means, but instead of having 4 more days to work with, I only have 2, and I gotta push on as far as I can today too. Here's the portage into Jenny Lake. 15 rods. Well, the portage from Eddy to Jenny was steep like I thought it was. Thought I remembered it was, and I'd forgotten about that log that was over the trail too, but I managed okay. No problem. And I found my way across Jenny with no problem. So here's the portage landing, heading over to
Any Lake. Okay, we're now on Any Lake. One more portage to Ogish, and then it's a lot of paddling for a while. Ten to 12. We're coming into the portage from Annie into Ogish. We are now on Ogish Lake. A long paddle until the next portage. Doing pretty good so far. But I am going to stop here for a trail mix and water break before continuing on. Move over here into some shade. Not getting hung up on the rocks. This is the channel between the east, well actually going this way, between the west and the east ends of Ogish. What a difference today. Haven't seen another person anywhere on this lake. But the last time I saw anybody was on the Eddie to Jenny portage. Young couple just finishing up, coming from Jenny, while I was starting out heading to Jenny. There's nobody. Nobody anywhere. So far. Now I'll come around the corner, there'll be 4 canoes heading my way with 9 people. No, we're not getting out here, Sam. You recognize a campsite when you see it, don't you? Oh. Well, not the 9 people and 4 boats that I talked about, but right around the corner there's people. And it looks like there's another canoe way off in the distance up there too. Oh well. Boy, did I put the hex on that. All of a sudden there were canoes all over the place. I saw 5 at one time. I mean, they weren't together, but you know, a couple here, a couple there, another one over to the side. Getting close to civilization, I guess. There's those 2 women I saw. It's a total of 6 I've seen. Since I said I hadn't seen anybody. Approaching the landing for the footage from Ogish over to Kingfisher. There it is. I can stand up anymore. Oh. Sitting for so long. It's now 1:30. Coming up on the Portage Landing for Kingfisher to Jasper. At least I think that's where I'm coming up to. It's actually the paddling today that's getting to me more than the portaging. It's a long haul across Ogish. Yep. This is it. Okay, I'm on Jasper Lake now. It is 2:45. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and head over to Alpine. Well, the weather's good. Oops. Okay, leaving the landing, Jasper Lake. Going backwards. I hope there's no rocks back there. Well, there are, but hopefully we don't hit them. Alpine. Should I say, or leaving the landing to Jasper or from Jasper? I don't know. It's getting late in the day. What can I say? It is now 3:40. And I'm on a lake. And let's see. Alpine. got a campsite straight across here. It looks like it's open. Looks like it actually has some trees around it. Nice sandy beach. Wow. Let's check this place out. Very nice landing. Tent pad back here, but it doesn't look real good. Kitchen area. Another tent area, still not good. Another tent area, I could make do. One over there, not good. One back in here. Look at how sweet. Just right up in here is about the best I'm going to find here. Without going too far back. All these tent pads and not very good ones. I'm just changed out of my boots into my Keens. See? Happy feet now. Keens, of course, are damp from this morning, but that's okay. They feel good. They feel good outside of those. My feet feel good outside of those wet boots. Today was one of the hardest days of the trip. I think the only day that was harder was when I went through the Keck Ponds. But I mean, it wasn't that I had long portages today, but I had a fair number of them. And actually, it was the paddling across Ogish that got to me more than the the portaging. So it's like I've got my portaging legs finally. Yeah, day before I go out, figure that. Finally have my portaging legs. Of course, the temperatures helped today. It felt warm out there, but it didn't feel oppressive like it did at the beginning of the trip. Every once in a while there was a cool breeze. Most of the time I had a tailwind, which is good for keeping you going. Not so good for keeping you cool. But I managed, and I actually did the one extra portage that I didn't anticipate doing. Looked like nobody was on Jasper, but I decided to come on to Alpine anyway. But yeah, I had a good time today. Even though it was a tough day, I had a good time with it. I'm feeling better now. Feeling better about the trip, feeling better about myself. Anyway, I haven't set anything up yet. I've just changed shoes basically. But I'm going to violate one of the cardinal sins of wilderness tripping, and I'm going to have something to eat before I set anything up. I didn't stop for lunch today. Did have some trail mix along the way. Don't like stopping for lunch because it seems like when I do so, I have a hard time getting going again in the afternoons. And so it usually works better for me to just paddle on, grit my teeth and paddle on through and have something when I get to the end than to actually stop and unpack the food pack, get things out, make lunch, put things away again, pack up, and then try to get underway again. I'm not cooking tonight. I'm not going to have a cooked meal. Even though I saved beef stroganoff for tonight, I'm not going to eat it. It'll be my first night on the next trip. But what I am going to do is right now I'm going to use up some of that cheese I have. I'm going to have a cheese wrap. Then I'm going to get some camp set up. And then after I have camp set up, then I'll have a tuna fish salad wrap. And who knows, I might even have 2 of those. Or I might have 2 cheese wraps. By the way, the other night, whatever it was, that I tried having cheese with tuna fish, it really didn't work. It wasn't a very good combination. It was okay, but it wasn't something I want to repeat. So, anyway, I'm going to quit yakking. I'm going to put you down, and I'm going to get some stuff done before night falls. I've got a west-facing campsite here, so I hope I can get some sunset shots. We've got clouds around right now. It is supposed to cloud up tonight, so hopefully I get the right balance of clouds and openings between those clouds for a nice sunset. Well, I got my tent set up and my tarp. Set up the tarp mainly because it needed drying. But there's also a 20% chance of rain after midnight. And there was that one night a few days ago, about a week ago maybe, when there was a 20% chance of rain overnight, and it rained pretty steadily for about 4 hours in the morning. 3 or 4 hours. So I'll put my stuff underneath the tarp like I usually do. So if it does rain, it'll keep it dry. Tomorrow, there's supposed to be a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, but it sounds like that's mostly in the afternoon. They did say that some of the thunder showers could be accompanied by hail and strong winds. Again, hopefully in the afternoon. Otherwise, it's supposed to be 5 to 10 mile-an-hour winds from the south. So only a little bit more wind than I had today. And coming from the south, I can hide behind a lot of islands and stuff. So that shouldn't be too bad. Anyway, in a little while I'm going to have another cheese wrap. I've got enough cheese for one more wrap, and the cheese isn't going to keep anyway. I'll probably follow that with a tuna fish salad wrap, and that'll wrap up my dinner for today. Pun intended. So anyway, that's about it for tonight. Hopefully we get a nice sunset tonight. Oh. Since I got in so late, I really don't want to take the time to cook. I know freeze-dried dinners make it a lot quicker to cook and clean up, but there's still cooking and cleanup involved. And I'm hoping that by not doing the freeze-dried, that I'm going to have more of a chance to photograph the sunrise or sunset if and when it happens. It's looking pretty good right now. This is sort of a west-facing site, so I'll have a clear view of the sunset if and when it happens. So, yeah. Sam obviously has been stung by a bee sometime in his 8 years. Whenever one comes around, he gets very nervous and wants to run for cover. Poor guy. And we had one buzzing around just now, so Sam got very nervous about that. Didn't you? Well, this trip, number 64, is almost in the bag. Just the short paddle across Alpine tomorrow. 105 rod portage, which kicked my butt on the way in, but I think tomorrow it's going to be just fine. It's still going to be in the low 70s tomorrow for a high, so still going to be very comfortable weather, and I think I've found my portaging legs now too, so so finally on day 11 of the trip I started feeling good about myself and about the trip, about my capabilities. I mean, like I said before, I know it weren't long portages today, but there were a couple of steep ones, and I got through okay. So I think it was a combination of the heat towards the beginning of the week, or the beginning of the trip, coupled with the fact that I was probably still recovering from that cold I had, because all vestiges of that cold have now disappeared, the symptoms. Mostly now I've got some allergy stuff going on. But I basically had three main things I wanted to do this trip. I wanted to get to Kekakabik Lake, and I wanted to get to Otter Track Lake, both of which are lakes that I've gone through before, but I wanted to actually stay there, spend some time at them. Well, I got Kekakabik accomplished. Missed out on Otter Track, but I guess that gives me another reason to come back. I also wanted to hit some of the lakes that I hadn't been to before, and I got some of those done. I hit Bonnie, and Amoeber, Topaz, Cherry especially, I wanted to get to, and I did. And I got to Rabbit, which I've never been to before. Disappointed that I didn't get that chain of lakes north of Cherry, including Lake of the Clouds, and some of those other lakes up in there. Again, another reason to come back. Once again, I seem to have bit off more than what I can chew. It's just that I couldn't chew as much this year as I did last year. I think if I had been in the shape I was last year, it wouldn't have been any problem at all accomplishing what I wanted to accomplish, other than the fact that I'm going out 2 days early, thanks to Spot. It sounds like weather-wise, it's just as well I'm going out early anyway, because Sunday's, well, I guess Sunday's supposed to be sunny, but then Monday it's supposed to be stormy again, so probably just as well I'm going out a little bit early. And of course, Sunday is a popular day for people to come in. So in the past, when I've tried to spend my last night on Seagull and it's been a Sunday night, I've had a real hard time finding campsites. So from that point of view, it's probably best to be leaving early as well. I am kind of disappointed that I can't make my full 14 days. And I'm kind of disgusted with Spot. Wind started coming up strong, blowing right off that lake. It's kind of chilly, so I put my fleece jacket on, and Sam's wrapped up in his fleece blanket, and sitting here watching the waves go by. Actually, if we could move down to the beach, we'd get a little bit of the sun, but I don't think the sun's going to make much difference. No, I'm not really complaining. I like it cool. But, like I said, you can always put more layers on. I've now put the canoe away. What I pointed to as a potential tent pad when I first landed is actually a nice canoe garage. So, canoe's gone to bed. I'm not going to be going out paddling tonight. Not after all the paddling I did today.